Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of HorrorHands, and this is going to be my HorrorHands Christmas special video where I go through all of the horror Christmas movies in my collection. Before I get into it, I just wanted to say this will be my last video before Christmas, so I wanted to wish everyone out there a very happy Christmas, and I wanted to thank everyone so much for supporting and watching my channel this year. I really appreciate anyone that interacts with my channel, whether you watch every video, whether you watch the occasional one, whether you comment or not, hell, even if you leave me a thumbs down. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my channel and let me know what you think of the things that I say and everything like that. So thank you so much. It is really appreciated, and once again everyone, have a Merry Christmas. So, Christmas horror movies. Now, I need to confess, I don't actually have that many Christmas themed horror films. They tend to go under the radar for me until it gets to Christmas, and then I realise I don't have any. But I'll go over the small stack of movies that I have, and maybe this will give you some Christmas viewing recommendations, or you can just let me know what you think of some of these films. So the first one is an anthology film called All the Creatures Were Stirring, and this was a pretty cool film. It has quite an indie feel to it. There's quite a few segments in it. I can't remember all of them, but I remember it being an enjoyable movie. Two of the segments that stick in mind to me are one where they have this Secret Santa thing at a company and all the presents are like rigged to kill the employees. That was pretty cool, pretty tense. And also one where this guy is stalked by this killer reindeer. But as I say, there's a few segments in this, and there's quite a few different directions that it goes in. I can definitely recommend this one as a decent Christmas themed anthology. So that is that one. Okay, next up is the classic Black Christmas. So the Christmas slasher movie that predates Halloween. And this is an excellent movie. I really like this one. This is about these college girls that are terrorized by this killer, and they like get all obscene phone calls and things like that. John Saxon stars as a police officer in it as well. But it's a really cool film. It's got a really creepy atmosphere, and he's just very effective anyway. And the fact that it's set at Christmas, I think, quite adds to the atmosphere and that kind of thing. So definitely a movie that I can recommend if you've not seen it. I haven't got the remake or the remake of the remake. I'm sure I'll pick them up at some point, but I doubt they're as good as the original, to be honest. Nope, we've got stuff falling everywhere. Right, next up is Christmas Evil. Been a while since I watched this one, but this one was a pretty fun film. This is about a guy, if I remember right, he loves Christmas. He loves everything about Christmas. I think he might even work at a toy shop. But if he comes down on his luck, I think he might get fired or something like that. And he dons a Christmas outfit and starts killing people. Simple as that. Like I say, pretty fun film, not one to take seriously. It has a very peculiar ending as well, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure where that ending came from. Any thoughts you've got on the ending of Christmas Evil would be interesting. But it's a pretty decent slasher film, and definitely a good recommendation for a Christmas horror film. Okay, next up we have Gremlins. Not one that I need to really talk about. Gremlins is awesome. I'm sure everyone has seen this film. I'm sure most people like it. Very popular movie. It's a fun film to watch at any time of the year, really. A really cool creature feature. But the fact that it's set at Christmas makes it even more fun to watch around the festive period. So definitely a recommendation for Christmas viewing. Gremlins, it's awesome. Okay, next up we have Jack Frost, which is an absolutely fantastic film. One of the most fun and funniest horror movies I've ever seen. It may actually be my favourite Christmas related horror film to be honest. I just love everything about this film. I like how witty it is. I like the idea of a killer snowman going around killing people. I think the effects of the snowman are really cool as well. And yeah, just such a fun film. This would, like I say, be my number one pick of all the Christmas horror films to watch at Christmas. I think for me, it will be Jack Frost, because I just have such a fun time watching this one. So yeah, that's a top HorrorHands recommendation there. Okay, the next one, I'm not even sure if this is a Christmas film actually. This is a bit of a wild card selection. Feel free to let me know if you think it is or not. But it's Jaws the Revenge. Probably the most un-Christmassy Christmas film there is. But it is set at Christmas time, and we do get a scene of some Christmas carolers. We get a scene of the Brody family celebrating Christmas Day. So, I don't know, does that make it a Christmas film or not? The film is very, very depressing, so it doesn't really help towards giving it a festive feel. But like I say, it does take place at Christmas, so does that make it a Christmas movie? Okay, next up is another anthology called Night Terrors. So this isn't entirely around the Christmas period. I think it's the first segment in this. It involves a guy who, again, just dons a Christmas Santa Claus outfit and goes around killing people. Simple as that. But if I remember rightly, it's pretty well done, and there's some quite gory death scenes in this segment. The movie overall is pretty good. It's a very low budget anthology, but one that I thought was done rather well. And like I say, it does deliver on the blood and gore as well. So this is not one that I see around all that much, but if you like your anthologies, I can recommend this one. And it does have a killer Santa Claus segment as well for Christmas. Okay, next up is Saint. So this is directed by Dick Mars, who did The Lift and Down. And this was a really good film. It's been several Christmases since I've seen this, but I think I originally saw this at the Pictures, which it's an unusual film to be on the Pictures, but I'm 99% sure I did see it at like a special screening, and then I enjoyed it so much I bought it on DVD. But like I say, I haven't watched it for a long time. It's kind of like a sort of dark Christmas fairy tale where this Saint Nick figure, he's a bit like a rotting demon-like character, and he goes around killing people on Christmas Eve. To be honest, it's one that I would like to revisit this Christmas because it's been so long since I've seen it, but I did think this was a genuinely good film. So yeah, another one that I can recommend from memory at least. Okay, next up is Silent Night. I've seen this one a couple of times now, and this is not one that I liked. Not really anything to pinpoint why I didn't like it. I just didn't really hold my interest very well. Didn't think it was all that good of a film, to be honest. So, not one that I'd recommend. I have heard that there's people that did enjoy this one. They think it's a fun film, but for me, this one just didn't deliver. So yeah. Okay, next up is Silent Night, Bloody Night. Now this is the one, I picked this up recently. It was in my last end of month video. I don't hear many people talk about it. When I do hear people mention this film, they always say that it's a really kind of hidden gem. It's a very obscure film, but it's a really good film. And I have to say I agree. I really did like this film. I thought it was a very, very well made, very effective film. So it's about this sort of big gloomy mansion. Someone buys it, but there's a killer going around killing people in the mansion and killing people that have kind of anything to do with it. And it's low budget, it's obscure, but it does have some pretty decent kills in it. There's some pretty bloody kills, and I think they really utilise the kind of Christmas wintry setting in this film. It makes for a very gloomy atmosphere, which just adds to the feel of the film. So yeah, one that I would agree. You don't hear much about this film. It's very low budget, it's obscure, but it is a really well made film, and one that I would say is worth checking out if you do like your low budget stuff. So yeah, that was a good one. Next up we have the infamous Silent Night, Deadly Night, the one that freaked out a bunch of parents in the 80s. They saw this picture of a killer Santa Claus with an axe and thought that all their children were going to be traumatised. The movie itself is pretty good. It's another one that I don't really take seriously, but it's got some decent kills in it. I think this has got the one with the guy impaling the girl on the antlers. That was a pretty cool scene. Again, it's been a while since I've seen this, but it's a pretty good slasher. It's pretty effective in terms of the death scenes and things like that. So yeah, one that I would recommend for Christmas viewing. And the last one is Amicus's Tales from the Crypt. So again, another anthology, not entirely set at Christmas, apart from, I think it's the first segment with Joan Collins. She kills her husband on Christmas Eve, and while she's going about trying to dispose of the body, she is terrorised by an escaped mental patient wearing a Santa Claus outfit. So, really good story, really cool segment. I've always enjoyed this one. They remade that segment for the Tale from the Crypt TV show in season 1, and that was really good as well. So yeah, another one I can recommend. So that's my little bunch of Christmas movies, guys. Let me know what you think of those movies, and let me know what movies you'll be watching over Christmas. I'll be really interested to know. So once again, guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel, and have a very Merry Christmas, and stay tuned for more videos.